There we go. Hello everybody, this is going to be video 641. Not the most flattering perspective. I have the laptop here sitting on my lap, and so I'm shooting up a nice view of a red biplane in the background. But this video is going to talk a little bit about electrolysis. Yesterday I had a 45-minute session where they did kind of from my chin down to about here, and I had forgotten how sensitive the face is. You know, the face, obviously, if you believe in God, God made, for whatever reason, this is any erogenous zone is very sensitive to touch, obviously. And, you know, just this area here is so sensitive to being electrolysis. I thought this was bad. Right here is terrible, in my opinion, as far as pain level goes. Right under your nose is really, really hard, as well as close to your lips. Again, that erogenous zone. This perimeter, it can be pretty rough. But this area, I was surprised what I consider to be the jawline. Oh my gosh, it hurts so much. And I go to a really good electrologist in Louisville, and she's very good. She's very fast, very just good at what she does, and usually there's no pain, or very little for that matter. And as I sat there yesterday, I was reflecting upon way back in the day for me, you know, people saying, you know, this is something you choose to do. You choose to be transgender, you know, you choose. And there are moments that I reflect upon that, and I'm like, yeah, I choose to submit myself to hours upon hours of pain. I mean, I know some people who've done like over 100 hours of electrolysis, and depending on your age and stage, I guess that's a good thing if you were younger, and by younger I mean pre-puberty to puberty to post-puberty, you know, 20ish, and your beard hairs haven't quite come in, or you've been on some androgen, or you know, a testosterone blocker, and your body never developed the you know, quite either your body never developed full facial hair, or late stage facial hair, which as you can tell is grayish. This being one transit middle age, and me being 47 middle aged, you know, my body had 45 years to develop facial hair, or at least 20 years, a good 25 years to develop facial hair. I have very little gray, very little dark facial hair left, black. For the most part, it's all that really translucent or gray, you know, that really thick, coarse hair is what I have. Again, you can tell by my head hair. The hair I have that's left is very coarse and wiry. But again, I thought about how, I apologize for shaking the camera. So we're on my lap today. Um, but again, just that idea of, you know, well, someone says, well, you choose to be transgender. And it's like, yeah, I choose to, all the things we choose to do. My friend Jamie just had a tracheal shave. You know, we choose to put ourselves under surgery, and we choose to do, you know, no, it becomes the thing you gotta do. You really have no choice. You have to do it. And I consider myself fortunate that I have the money. It's kind of inverse relationship between age and money, isn't it? When you're in your 20s and your body would be prime for transitioning, you don't necessarily have access to the, you know, the finances or the health insurance. And then when you do have access to it, when you're a little older, your body isn't as receptive to the changes. It's kind of inverse relationship. But yeah, I almost cried yesterday. I probably do need to have a good cry. just to get the emotion out, because it just the repetitive pain, the repetitive pain just got to me. It was like, well, shit, why am I doing this? And obviously it's not to have beard hairs anymore. And my hope is that will help me out. Number one, not so much with gender dysphoria, but it is kind of annoying to shave, every day. And the interaction we have with people. I think if we didn't have, I know for myself, if I didn't have beard hairs, I think I would feel a little more confident in my one-to-one interaction during the day. But obviously, as part of getting ready to have electrolysis, you have to let your beard hair grow out. And so I look kind of scruffy. And I'm at the point now, I have to add a day to it. So I have to let my hair grow now for 4 days. Used to be 3, but now it's 4. I have to let my beard hair grow for 4 days before it's noticeable, and so for those 4 days, I'm kind of walking around going, okay, people are looking at me, whatnot. And it's definitely scattered, which I guess I should be thankful for. It's not like full beard. It's, here, it's sparse, but still plenty enough. I mean, we still have many hours of electrolysis ahead of. I have many hours of electrolysis ahead of me, but I'm thankful that it's not a full beard, the way it used to be. The way it used to be. I used to have a full beard a long time ago. A beard is a beard in the slang sense. It was hiding the person I was underneath. I used to use my beard somewhat as a disguise. It was hiding who I was. So, but again, back to that pain, and I guess why I thought about the channel today is just to record as part of this process that a person can have GCS and be fully transitioned. I forget what that's called, full-time. You can go full-time and be fully transitioned and still have years of electrolysis remaining. If I was so fortunate to have the funds and to be able to do an hour a week and the stamina, I guess, and the ability to suck up the pain, that's 52 hours a year. I could do 200 hours within 4 years' time, but life doesn't work that way. We don't always have the funds. We don't always have the opportunity. I know the electrologists, you got to get on the schedule and the time they have. It just doesn't work out that way. So for anyone who thinks that they're going to do this within a year or 2 or even 4, be realistic with your approach. And like I said, the pain level is what got to me yesterday. And maybe I need to track down a different kind of cream or something. But even you anticipate getting shocked, and you're like, I clench my teeth. I clench my teeth, and usually you have stress balls or something in your hands so you can squeeze. I've learned to kind of tuck my hands. I kind of clench them by my sides, and depending on which side she's on, I can clench the hand or squeeze the ball, and it makes me feel good. It takes away a little bit of that stress. Oops, sorry, touched something on the screen. So anyway, just recording, just a milestone, or just making a note where I'm at. Still have electrolysis and still have a lot to go. And at some point, cisgendered women develop because of the way our bodies are, human beings, cis women grow facial hair in their later age. Hence, that's why electrolysis is there for older women. So in a way, it's kind of, I guess I should feel like I'm on the right path with my fellow 40, 50, 60-year-old women, in that we have facial hair that we're getting rid of. And I almost wonder too, like, after a hair has been zapped, if it comes back, the follicle, if it is, does it come back finer? Does it come back not as coarse? And so therefore, even if I have hair that comes back, I'm going to look more like a cisgendered woman who has facial hair, who just wants to get, just a couple of hairs done. Even though it's not the case. It's a full beard. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the day of being able to do this and not feel the hairs. The electrologist said my skin was a little dry and suggested I change up my moisturizer, which is kind of funny because I was kind of making fun of moisturizing. I have friends who, carry around tubes of moisturizer and hand cream and stuff, and I guess me being the granola person that I am, I'm, this is the way I want to be, someone with no artificial additives or substitutions of any kind this late in age. I want to be the granola woman, and it just cracks me up. It cracks me up. All the products that are out there for cis women and trans women, and I guess women in general, to prevent the signs of age, and dye your hair and your eyebrows, and this treatment and that treatment, and eye puff cream and hand cream. There's so many things to fight the natural progression of our bodies as we get older. And the truth is, we get older. We get older and we die, and that's just part of life, circle of life crap. There was something else I was gonna write down, but I'm waiting to see. I adopted a cat, and he's sick right now. Otherwise, I'd show him to you. He's not feeling too good, but it kind of fulfilled another prophecy of being an old woman with a cat. As I made mention a couple videos ago, I don't know of any trans woman who found someone and in a relationship with the opposite sex, opposite gender, post-transition. I don't know anyone who found someone after they transitioned. And I'm almost willing to say I have a theory, a hypothesis even, just that I don't think it's possible. I mean, I think it's possible, but the likelihood is very, very slim of a post-op or yeah. I think it's almost impossible. It's possible in the same way that it's possible for you to win the lottery, assuming you play it. It is possible to win the lottery, but as I made mention, it's is it Death Star odds? Is it navigating an asteroid field odds? Is it winning the lottery odds? I think it's beyond that. It's almost impossible. But obviously everything is possible, right? It's possible to turn a tennis ball inside out without making a hole in it mathematically. It's you look at other impossible things. Bumblebees are impossible. They shouldn't be able to fly, and yet they do. And so all things are possible. Maybe improbable is a better word. It doesn't mean that we don't try. As I'm trying to think what his name is, in Big Trouble in Little China, the not Lao Che? That Lao Che is the name of the company from Temple of Doom. The Lao Che is, oh, so see you again, Lao Che, and it's written on the side of the plane. What's his name? Anyway, Big Trouble in Little China. He says something about relationships, and he says, but we all try like fools, But anyway, so it's possible, but very improbable. And so seeking companionship and love. I do love cats, so Anyway, don't mean to take up too much bandwidth today. I needed to make a video yesterday. Like I said, I was in a lot of pain, and as I was driving home, I'm like, gosh, the things that we do, to become the people that we are on the inside, you know. And if you believe in an afterlife, um, I've heard some people say that in heaven, and I guess it depends on what one's opinion is of heaven and the religional base of heaven, but in heaven, you know, everyone's a soul. There is no gender, which I kind of like the idea of a soul being able to represent itself in whatever form it wants to. So I'm kind of hoping that I can be a woman in heaven and maybe have some sex by the time I get there. That'd be nice. But um, I don't know. It's kind of sad in a way. Kind of not to give a bleak. I don't want to give a bleak thing, but not to be bleak or depressing. But I guess honest. Honest is what I'm looking for. I want to be honest. And in the channel here, I don't want to be dishonest. I'd much rather lay everything out up front and on the table than to try and, you know, again, you can be positive and say it's possible to find someone, and definitely you're more likely to find someone if you go out and do things and you're active and etc. etc. As I've said before, John Lennon said life is something that happens while you're doing something else. You know, go out and do things and do the things you enjoy, and hopefully you'll meet someone with similar interests, and yay, right? That's what we hope. But from a statistical point of view, like I said, I don't know any trans women who have met someone after they transitioned and in a relationship, male and female. It's usually female, someone they knew before, or someone with already, it's another trans woman or within the community. And again, not to say it's improbable, but not very probable. Statistics are against you. And that's just life, and maybe that's just the way that it is and the way that it's always been. And as I'd mentioned before, cisgendered people have enough trouble finding someone, a relationship. Look at all the dating sites and everything that's out there. Normal cis people have a lot of trouble finding someone, so why wouldn't we have the same trouble? It's just that the pool is a lot smaller, and I don't know, maybe as time goes on, things will improve. Definitely in this day and age, people are a lot more open-minded than they used to be. And maybe that'll continue on, you know, and wouldn't it be nice to think about excuse me, if you're non-binary, to think about a world that you can be non-binary and meet someone else who's non-binary. You know, who knows? We don't know. Just very, for the moment, improbable. Like I said. Anyway, that's just my opinion too. Your opinion may be different, and that's fine. And your mileage may vary. I like to think that a trans woman in her 20s, you know, if the hormones are going to take their effect, they'll find someone because they'll be able to integrate themselves and look the part that they need to be. That a middle-aged trans woman, we just don't have that. We don't have that option. And the older you get, the less the chemicals work, unless you're sitting on a pile of money and you're going to have a lot of plastic surgery and artificial means of doing it. I guess that's another option. I'm not in that boat. But anyway, I don't want to end the note. I don't want to end this on a negative. In spite of all of that, I can honestly say I'm very happy. I'm the happiest that I've been in my life to this date. And I'm very happy with, you know, the bumper stickers that you see, you know, a bad day in Chicago is better than the best day in San Antonio, or you know, you know, things are a lot better than what they were before, and I'm very thankful for that, and that's part of, I think, making the best of what you have with what you got. You know, take your lemons and make lemonade, etc., etc. As you do the best that you can with what you have, and that's all you can do, I think. I don't know. I almost want to draw a picture now of a road map. You know, if you got money, you know, they say that money doesn't buy happiness, but I do think with money you can rent it. You can definitely rent happiness. You can get short spurts of it and whatnot. So, all right. On that note, I'm going to end it. Good luck to you all, and good luck to your transition. Good luck to you in becoming the person that you want to be. Find out for yourself who that person is, and maybe as a postscript, I can say that where was I? I was out and about, and I was at the grocery store yesterday, and this is after my electrolysis appointment. So here I had beard, mustache, and empty spot that was red. You know, it was red and, you know, looked like someone had smacked me 100 times, you know, slapped me. I was red and bumpy and everything. And the short of it, not looking my personal best or feminine in my mind. And I went to the grocery store, and I was, someone had said something, you know, hello, ma'am, you know, can I help you? You know, and as I was walking out to the parking lot, I'm like, you know what? It feels good to be me. I feel comfortable in my skin, and I think that's something that I can hope for every person, whether you're trans or not, is to be happy in your life. And for some of us, it takes us longer to get there. And you know, I wish for everyone, whether you're trans or not, that you're happy, you're comfortable in your own skin, and you reach that degree of it's almost very zen-y, you know, zen. I hope that you reach that point of comfortableness with yourself. Not to say there's not things you wouldn't change, but just that basic level of, hey, I'm doing okay. You know, things could be better, but I'm happy with the status quo. And if you choose to make yourself better, then you do that. If otherwise, if you're perfectly happy where you're at, amen to that. All right. On that note, see you next time. Bye-bye. And good luck.